Hi everyone, and very welcome to this focus sessions. We are here representing If Insurances today. We are going to talk about collaboration and diversity. My name is Sofia Magnusson, and usually I'm working as a tech strategy manager, but today I will be your moderator. And together with me here on the stage, I have Aliaksandra, working as a UX designer, Lillemor, DevOps tribe lead, and Elisa, working as a .NET developer. And you will soon hear a lot more from them. But first, I would like to give you some key facts about If Insurances, because I think there are a lot of things you might not know. But just to start off, we're not bragging, but we are the largest property and casualty insurer in the Nordics, just to set the stage. And we have approximately about 4 million customers in the Nordics and Baltics. And as you can see in the picture, we have offices in quite a lot of locations. And if you're really quick in math, you will see that this adds up to 1,200 people. But that's only our IT professional people. In total, we are about 8,000 people working at If. And speaking about all these fantastic IT professionals, some of them here with me today, I think it's not only a lot of different personalities we have among us, but we also have a lot of both development languages, but also languages spoken, or different office locations. We have different time zones, cultural, and so on. But then that kind of like brings us to the key question: how do we collaborate in a company with 8,000 people spread across 7 different countries? And that is what we are going to dig into today. And I will start off with presenting Lillemor, so you can,
Okay, hi, I'm Lillemor. I've been in this room before, I just say.
Yeah.
Just saying. Yeah. So my name is Lillemor Ehrner, and I've been working a long time in IT or tech. And usually I talk about transformations or DevOps or something like that, but this is more fun because we're going to talk about people. And I mean, that's why we're here. That's why it's fun to be in IT, isn't it? Because you work with people, and it's people that makes the change. So,
and that makes me curious of the people you are with in this picture. It seems like you have a lot of fun, at least.
Yeah, that is a really fun moment, actually. So 2 years ago, I started at If, and it was after the pandemic. So I didn't know what to expect. Insurance company. But hey, we needed some more people, actually. So when I came in, I was working in a unit with middle-aged white men, no women. So I came in as diversity, But it was like opening the floodgates, actually, because then we were supposed to recruit, and we wanted, roles that are quite male, I would say, like DevOps engineers, very hot role. But I really wanted, to get women in and different cultures and stuff like that, and we succeeded. So now we're a group of people from Latvia, of course, and Sweden. And then we have people from the US, we have people from India, from China in our group, and English is, of course, the language that we speak. And here we have a gathering, so I run two teams or 2 squads. So here we met up and tried to get to know each other. It's a really fun thing to do. If you ever go to Latvia, go around the pan cars. They are crazy. Can hardly drive them, but you drive around in traffic, and do stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, do you have any more examples of what you do to enhance collaboration within your team?
Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, one thing is to meet up, of course, but every day we do meet up in different collaboration tools. And one of the purposes with this group is to give developer a good experience. So we actually handle a lot of collaboration tools and culture and stuff like that. So yeah, we have a lot of connections.
And does it help having a diverse team then, reaching out to a lot of different people in the organization?
Definitely. It's much easier, I would say.
Yeah. But thank you so much for that introduction of what you're doing in your daily work and the presentation of your team. I'm also curious about the other two panelists, of course, so we'll move on to Elisa. You're working as a .NET developer.
Yeah, hi. So I started as a trainee last summer. Actually, I graduated last summer, so not that long ago. And for the first 6 months, I was a trainee. And in the first 3 months, we were all together with the group of trainees that you see there. And as you can see, it's not the typical group that you would expect in IT. So that was a very nice kind of soft start into IT. And now I'm as a .NET developer in a team that deals with internal system for like industrial insurance. So like very big companies. And those systems do like everything from like renewing a policy, invoicing, whatever you can think of, it's probably in there. And yeah, so my team currently is about 50-50 men and women, which is also, at least from what I've been told, not so usual. So that's definitely fun.
And how come you applied to IF from the beginning?
So I actually have a background that's not really so typical for people in IT. So I have a bachelor in health science and technology and a master in sports technology. But I realized throughout my studies that, hey, this programming thing, this software development, that's really cool and I like it. So throughout my studies, I kind of took more and more of software development classes. And I kind of applied to a trainee program because of this background that might be a bit unusual. I sometimes felt a bit insecure about my coding abilities, even though I know that I can do that. I had projects to prove it, but I still felt somewhat insecure about it. So having this trainee program to kind of get this soft start into, well, being an actual proper adult, that's scary. So that was very nice. Yeah, so that's the...
Yeah, and working as a .NET developer, that also brings us to a question regarding front-end and back-end. Do you have any preference on that question?
I have a small preference for back-end, but I can do both, but back-end is maybe what I prefer.
Thank you, Elisa. And then we'll move over to Aliaksandra, our UX designer here today. Could you tell us a little bit more about how it is to work as a UX designer at IF?
Oh, yes, so nice to meet you. This is my first panel discussion, so I'm a bit nervous. So I work at IF Insurance Commercial, business to business. So I design for customers who are small and medium businesses. And my team is based in Finland, so I mostly work with Finland and travel on a regular basis to meet my team. And I joined IF 2 years ago. So originally I'm from Belarus and I came to study in Sweden. So I got a scholarship from Swedish Institute related to feminism. So my main topic to get scholarship was feminism. And because of this, I'm very happy to be here also in Women in Tech, because it kind of also related for my motivational letter why I'm in Sweden. And when I started to study at Uppsala University, I decided to find a job. So hopefully I found IF and joined IF as a second designer in Stockholm office. Overall, you can see on the picture is our big experience design community. We have around 50 people, UX designers, service designers, and also UX researchers. So it's a really, really big and nice community. And we design for private customers, for commercial, as I work for businesses. Also, we have industrial customers in different our projects. So we have a lot of nice projects, and all our designers, we are strived to create the product customer-oriented. So we work a lot of data to create a nice experience for our customers.
Yeah. Thank you. And you also belong to another team within IF. Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so I belong the first one for this big one, experience and community, and the second one for Finnish team, one we designed together. We have very international team, like this Finnish team. We have colleagues from Vietnam, from Nepal, from Finland. So I'm from Belarus, so it's very international and diverse. And also I would like to say about experience and community. So we are both Nordic and Baltic. So we have colleagues around 7 countries. It's around 20 people in Stockholm, but our people, they are located in Riga, Oslo, Helsinki. So it's many, many different cities and countries. So yeah.
Thank you, Aliaksandra, for sharing that. And we do not only have a lot of different people at IF, we do also have a lot of different technologies. So I would like to bring this picture up, just displaying a few of our, I think it's over 800 different system and applications. So I was wondering which system or application you use in your daily work, and also which are your favorite ones.
I can start. My favorite ones is cloud, of course. And I'm really happy to say that If is really far ahead of in the cloud evolution. And that brings so much because I'm working with ways of working, and it kind of opens a lot of doors when it comes to automation and stuff like that. So I'm really happy about that.
Any special you would like to highlight more on this picture?
We actually use ADO for our development teams. So it's Azure DevOps because we are very Microsoft heavy. And it's a very proficient tool. Yeah, we use it every day, I would say. Everyone uses it every day. Yeah.
What about you, Elisa?
So unsurprisingly, I work a lot with .NET. I'm a .NET developer, and I like working with that. So those who don't know what .NET is, it's a software development framework. So and then maybe my favorite tool though is Git, simply because it has saved me from my own mess so many times, and also it's just a great way to collaborate with people as well. Like, it makes it very easy.
What about you, Aliaksandra?
Yeah, and for me, you can see like these two logos on the right side. One of them is Miro, so maybe someone tried to work on this. It's a great tool for collaboration in between not only designers but other colleagues. If you have like even developers, you can create different. So a lot of people can work in one place. And another tool is Figma. You can see like this colorful logo. This is like mostly for designers. It's also like the same. Kind of as Miro, but more for designing different products. You can create some mockups and then share with your customers. You can use them like prototypes for user tests and to test your solutions. So it's very nice. Everyone can use this, not only for design, but if you need to kind of to create something visual, you can use Figma as well for this, and it's a free tool. Yeah.
Miro is used by everyone, I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, we use it as it's really important for collaboration. I mean, all of the sticky notes, I mean, it would be impossible sitting in co-located and doing those kind of workshops. So, yeah, not selling in Miro, but it's very good.
Yeah, and speaking of collaboration, it's very important to have really good collaboration tools, especially when we are working across so many different countries, and also to make sure that everyone get heard in those discussions. But yeah, we do not only collaborate online, we do actually see each other face to face sometime as well. So the next picture, you saw it before, but it's just displaying a few of our events the past 1 to 2 years. And I'm super curious to hear what your favorite events have been so far. So who would like to share?
I can start.
Yeah.
I haven't been here that long, so haven't been able to see all of the events, but I did love the event called Tech That Matters, which was really kind of what I thought was really cool, was really showcasing what each team is doing. And as somebody who's relatively new to the company, or even probably somebody who's been there a long time, it's really cool to see what other people are doing, and it's also kind of fosters this culture of, hey, let's talk about this. We're doing something that's kind of similar, but let's talk about this and try to figure it out a way to do it more efficiently together. So that I thought was very cool.
And it's good because, I mean, all of those events there are lots of time for mingling. And that is something I haven't seen in other places. I mean, we can get a whole day for just mingling around and talking to people, and then we have something on stage. So that's a recommendation. That's really good.
Yeah, and we actually have that event tomorrow in Finland for our colleagues. So it's kind of like a traveling, not show, but that we have this different. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and for design we have like special design gatherings. So once per year we meet, like all of us from Nordic and Baltic, in one of the cities. For example, last year it was in Riga. So we meet together, we spend like quality time, like having different design lectures, discuss our like common projects, and also like play on different instruments like this. So it was from our latest. So it's very nice because it's so many people and from different countries, and we need to kind of to have mingling as well and to discuss common topics, not only the work, but kind of to increase the like nice kind of connection that we are together in one company.
Yeah, but you meet your colleagues quite a lot.
Yeah. So we meet or like once per year for all of us, and also for Nordic and for Baltic separately. We meet like like twice per year, also like for separate gatherings, also to do something together and to talk.
That's really nice.
Yeah, and we also have a lot of hackathons and stuff like that. And was it last year we had AI Days, which was a really nice collaboration. Someone in business kind of said, we need something, we need to, lift people. And we collaborated over kind of just a group of people. So really fun, I think, and continuing, of course. And then we have this big one here, which is a really funky thing, I think. It's called the Riga Summer Camp. And it is the first week when everyone is back from vacation. Everyone gets to go out to this beautiful place, which is a park, and you can sit there and work and code and just hang around and eat and play some games or stuff like that. And it's for a week, So we usually pop over because we think it's so fun to be there. But it's a really good way of kind of boosting people.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can second that. I've been to one. But you also mentioned AI, and of course, as we know, AI is also a super hot topic. But how do you see AI and diversity, and how do we work with that question? I know.
Oh my God, that's big.
Yeah, I know you have a lot to say about that.
Well, I mean, AI is something that everyone will be affected by, or is affected by. I mean, we just maybe don't know how affected we are. So that is one thing. I mean, there are concerns. I would say that because we do get some, especially from the big language models, we do get a very kind of biased, like we heard the speakers talk about, and that is true, It just compiles information. It doesn't have a heart. It doesn't understand in that way. So that is a real concern, I would say. So whenever we talk about AI, we always say, use it consciously. You have to be able to judge the material that you're looking at, because, I mean, there might be really bad things in there. So, shortly.
Yeah.
Someone else.
But yeah, we spoke a little bit about how to design for diversity and have that in mind. From a UX designer perspective, what do you think? What are you thinking about when designing?
So I cannot say that we design for everyone. So we have we don't design separately for genders or we keep in mind our customers, who represent our customers, like personas. But for a diversity perspective, our goal, like NIF and also our design department, is to have 50-50 female and male designers. So it's very important for us to have this diverse group. And also, we also thinking about now, especially for accessibility and for accessibility perspective, because it's very important to design for a different kind of type of people who have different issues. And we have even separate specialists now in design department, who is responsible for creating these accessible design solutions. And also separately, I would like to mention that we have even design system. It's for people who don't know, it's for example, it's style, fonts, different buttons, how they behave, and we have separate group of people who work on this. So to make it more consistent and to work in the right way, how it should be for different people could be accessible. Yeah.
Thank you. And I know before this session we talked a little bit about more about kind of how do we get more women into tech and increase diversity in general. And I know, Lillemor, you shared a story about how you was thinking when you did the recruitment to create this diverse team that you have.
Yeah, I mean, interviewing people, you have to acknowledge that you have diversity in front of you, and you have to kind of change method when you interview people. And now I'm generalizing, but guys usually put themselves a bit above, You should brag a bit about what they're doing and what they can, and then you kind of peel a bit, and then you get to the truth. With girls, it's the opposite. So I would say get some grit, girls. Trust yourself. I mean, you want a job, so trust yourself that you are good enough. Usually you are very honest when you come in an interview situation, which is very good. Because you do want someone, you want an employer that are interested in you, interested in what you can do, and what are your weaknesses too, so you can develop them. So I'm just encouraging everyone to take on a bit more grit. Still be girls, please. Don't take on like bragging or something like that. But I think it's so important. I mean, diversity doesn't happen, by itself. It doesn't happen because girls start applying for more jobs. It will happen when the recruiters really acknowledge the differences and really looks at, what is the group, and also dare to put together a very diverse group. Because you can never count out, how do you put together a good group? You don't know, because you don't know these people coming in. And the fact, if you start handling diversity in a group, you will start handling everyone's speciality, even those who aren't diverse, And that will create kind of a security in the group, which makes everyone being able to contribute. So that is kind of the key.
Yeah, very wise
Does it
words.
make sense?
I can kind of.
I would really like, because I know that Elisa had a really good job tip.
When I started, before I graduated, so I was told by a friend of mine that the best tip that she's ever heard for applying to job was to apply with the confidence of a mediocre white man. And that's what I did, and I guess I'm here, so it worked. So yeah.
And also when speaking about diversity, both Elisa and Aliaksandra working as non-native Swedish speakers at IF. How has that been coming into IF as a company?
Well, for me, like my team is half based in Riga, half based in Sweden, so the language is mainly English always, which is good because I would struggle a bit in Swedish, I'm gonna lie. But it's been very. Everybody kind of has this expectation that, okay, we're speaking English always when we're doing work stuff. So it's very easy to collaborate with people because we know that when we're talking together, it's going to be in a language. It's going to be in a second language for all of that. I think for all of us in my team, which also I think for me, it's when we're speaking a second language, we're more prone to misunderstandings and expressing us maybe not in the best way. And I think working in that environment, it kind of promotes it being more tolerant towards how people express themselves. I think that's pretty cool.
What do you think?
Yeah. So for me, I was for a long time, like for around 2 years, I was the only person who speak only English, like at work. So I'm learning Swedish, but I don't speak. But now we have like more colleagues, and we have like now from Spain, and from Italy. So it becomes like it was nice before because everyone spoke with me in English, so it was not a problem. But now also I have a kind of support also, so I feel like more comfortable. We have different type, kind of diverse team now more, so it's very nice to have like more diversity also.
Yeah. And I know, Elisa, you speak a lot of languages.
I do.
Would you like to tell us which ones?
That's okay. So I grew up. My parents are. My mom's from Finland. My dad from Italy. So I grew up with them speaking their native tongue. I grew up in Geneva, where went to school in French. I'm not even nearly done. So then, I learned German in school well enough to be able to study in it, and English, and can manage quite all right in Swedish. So that's it.
I would definitely say. But do you feel like you can express yourself in different ways in different languages?
Yeah. I have different personalities in different languages.
But would you say that that's more allowed also when there's this sense of to be yourself? And we have this.
Yeah, I think so. Like I know that I have some colleagues that are aware of the fact that my Swedish is quite alright, so they tend to push me to speak more in Swedish, which is great. I love that. But I have more of a reserved personality simply because I'm more insecure of the way I'm expressing myself. But I haven't noticed that being an issue, and they know that, okay, if I'm feeling too limited in what I'm saying, we can always switch to English. So that's definitely great.
That's really good. Coming in as quite like a junior and also having more experience within the tech industry, do you have any tips or tricks you would like to share for like how leaders should behave? Something that you might have encountered that you didn't like, or something that you think we should do more of?
What I loved when I was getting recruited is that I had a technical interview, and the person interviewing me, at the beginning of the technical interview, there was a short presentation of the trainee position, more like information stuff, and they were actually very clear about. They were very open about, okay, this is the amount of women we have in the organization. It's not great. And that honesty, I think that's great because there's a lot of situations where you have people that are, yeah, we have this very few amount of women in our employees and it's great, and you're like, no, it's not, it's embarrassing. Why are you bragging about this? And I think being honest about it, that it's not great, but we're working on it, I think that was pretty cool, and I like that.
Yeah, that's a really good takeaway. And I think that we are about 30% women and 70% male at IF at the moment, just to get that. And I think it's very important that we acknowledge that we are aiming to even out those numbers. Is there anything you have been thinking about, Lillemor or Aliaksandra, regarding what you have encountered that you would like to share?
Well, I think that IF is a very caring company. That was kind of hit me, and it's always nice to work for a purpose. I know someone said that. And they always share these stories about the customers, which is really nice because then you really get the purpose, you know. It's not selling insurances, it's helping people when they are in trouble. So I love that. I really love that.
Yeah, and I can add from my perspective also that we are very respectful in communication, and it's very important for me. So that I know even if I don't understand something, I can ask, and it wouldn't be a problem to explain me again, even twice. So and everyone is very patient with this. So and I feel it's very great when you can ask your colleague and everyone wants to help. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good trait to have. And speaking about other differences, I know that we talked a little about the different products for different industries and areas. Would you like to tell us a little bit more about that from a UX perspective?
Yes, so as I mentioned, we have products for private customers and other for commercial. So for commercial, that means like small and medium companies, and I'm designed for these. So this is like, for example, our customers, they buy insurance to insure their company, and we provide this special portal to manage their insurances. And also we have industrial. It's like for large customers who are like 100 people, employees in the company, for example, and more. So and also we have like separate products when you would like to buy insurance. You go to web shop. It's like, and for all of these products, we have designers who work on these because they dig deeper to understand this particular audience, what they need, how they would like to interact with the product. So we create a lot of user tests to understand what is the better solution for our customers. And to choose and to see how they behave, what they like or not. So we work a lot with data to understand what kind of feedback they provide to us to make our products better and better. So I feel it's the main goal of us, like our designers, to make the best product on a regular basis.
That's super.
And we have some funky too. I mean, we have an office in Greenland that is kind of cool, which kind of serves the scientists that might be hit by a polar bear or something, you know, important stuff.
Yeah, so definitely. So even though we are located in the Nordic and Baltics, where we have our offices, we have customers all over the world with various types of needs that we can help them with. So that's a really, really good point. Are there any key takeaways from those insights? I was just thinking about it when you spoke about designing for those different industries. Something that might struck you when you got into the insurance business?
I feel like the more you do, the more... so I really like to interact with data to understand people more, because it feels like you know people and you understand like customers, but then the more you work, the more you understand that you need to understand better and to have more interviews to dive deeper in people's problems, how they interact, what they don't like, what they don't understand. So and it's very important, and every day you find out something new, and it's very important for your work. So not because in the past designers, they design something but they don't interact with users. So they just design, and then developers, they create, implement, and then people use. But now the goal of all companies is to understand better how, like, if you provide some digital products, how the customers really interact with these, how they use on a regular basis, what problems they have. So, and this now our goal to understand really how people, not just to create something nice and beautiful, but to make it usable for our real customers. Yeah.
Very interesting. And speaking about getting to know more about people, I would really like to get to know you a little bit better. So I prepared a little game for you. So let's see. If you all grab one of these. So I have prepared some of just like yes and no questions, and feel free to kind of like if you would like to explain or your thinking around it. But we will start with one quite easy, I think, and it is: do you prefer coffee over tea? Some yes and some no. Would you say that it's important to meet up at the coffee station at work?
Yeah, it's nice. Like, I'm a tea drinker, but I still like to meet up with people.
Yeah. So even though we have our different tastes, it's still like the main like focal point of the office, I would say.
Yeah.
And do you prefer to work at home over working at the office? So yeah, very different, very different answers there. Alexandra.
I like to work from home, but in the same moment I like to go to the office because I have nice restaurant and I don't need to cook. So when it's kind of it's nice to go you know that you have everything prepared. So
I second that.
yeah.
But also you meet people in the office.
Yeah.
Which you don't. I mean, you meet people in teams, but you get a lot of those kind of, oh, I got some information which I shouldn't have got if I wasn't here.
I think both is the best. You need some time to focus on your stuff at home, and you need some time to exchange. Like, that's the.
Yeah, and I heard that you pimped your work desk.
Yeah, I have a very nice sit and stand desk now with the home office benefits, so that's nice.
And then I think we already actually answered this, but do you speak English every day at work? Yeah. Yes. It makes sense since we have a lot of different nationalities and languages in the teams. And then we spoke a little bit about AI before, but would you say that you're using AI tools such as ChatGPT every day or every week? Two no and two yes. Lillemor, would you like to?
Yeah. I mean, we dabble with it. It's so fun. I mean, we talked about girls being bad at bragging. Use ChatGPT. It will brag you down. So I use it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good way to kind of like hype up yourself. Or, yeah.
Or the stuff you're doing.
Yeah. I learned a little trick to ask it to speak Scandinavian business English, because otherwise you kind of like, that's kind of like what we're using, and it's a bit of a special language, instead of having this very perfect English with a lot of elaborating words, or when you're trying to make it, could you sound a little bit, more relaxed, and it's adding a lot of like and more that style. So that's a tip for you all. And maybe the most interesting question, but do you think it's working in insurance is boring? No. I'm really glad to hear that. Then you're at the right place.
It's the obvious question you always get.
Yeah.
You work in insurance. Oh, that's boring, people say. But it isn't. So just saying.
It's
Come and see us. So.
yeah, I
We'll
get
tell
to
you.
work on very different things every day, so it's definitely fun.
And from design perspective, it's the second experience working for insurance company, and I feel like in IF we have really nice branding and nice colors and everything, and we care about the visual style a lot and like overall branding, video like commercial everywhere. So and it's very nice and I have a lot of inspiration when I see how we are working with modern approaches to create like beautiful up-to-date design. So it's very important.
Yeah, and we have had a lot of commercials like recently, so I hope you're not too tired of us already. And then I would like to ask if you would prefer Apple over a PC.
Mine, yeah.
You're
Yeah,
the only
the
one.
outline.
Yeah, but you're a .NET developer.
Yes.
What do you have to say about that?
It's just, I always use Windows.
Yeah.
I did use Linux at some point, but I don't know, it just, for my use, it's more practical.
Yeah, and we do have a lot of Microsoft in-house.
But for design, it's important to have Apple because you need to have like perfect color on your screen, not to create something that it doesn't look like on different computers differently.
Yeah. And then the last question I will ask is: are you a morning person or not? Or are you a morning person? You all are. Wow. Yeah. I'm really glad to have you here. But we have flexible work hours, so maybe not all of your teammates are as rise and shine in the morning.
No,
So.
but I mean, we are over 2 countries, so you also add the time difference to it as well. So.
Yeah. Great. Well, thank you so much for participating and answering all my questions, high and low. That was everything that we had to talk about with you today before time is running up. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much to our panelists. We will hang around here a little bit more afterwards if you have any questions of how it is to work at IF. We'd also have some open vacancies, and the QR code will lead you to our tech community site. So thank you so much, everyone, for being here today.
Thank you.